All right, my man Nura asked me, can you do a dungeon tier list? Let's get it. So today I'm gonna be showing you guys the best units to beat dungeon and ultimate tower defense. Also, remember we're doing the 100,000 Robux giveaway once we get to 100,000 subscribers, and we're very close. So hit the subscribe button if you want to enter. Let's get it. All right, first up, guys, we have the effect units. So these are usually better for late game, or if you're doing it with multiple players. So the best effect units, guys, are going to be these Dragos. So the Dragos are very, very good. However, they're a little bit pricey. So for early game effects, I recommend Todoroki and Blackbeard. There's going to be your go-to. Crimson Doflamingo is a question mark. He's not too bad. So you might want to go with him. Now, he does have that Evo, it looks like. So maybe you want to, think about getting that one, which is pretty decent as well. And I will say Anya is pretty good, but has some RNG factors involved as well. And then the rest of them, they just do like a 10%, 15% buff. So unless you're stacking with other things, not really that worth it. All right, and the viable effects, these guys are just kind of like burns and other things that aren't just as worth it. Now, Gara has a pretty cool effect, but it's too slow to really do much. He is a cheap freeze, but not really doesn't do enough damage for late game. Rengoku does some decent damage, but burn just isn't the best effect. All right, Yochi's actually pretty good, so maybe you want to check her out. I think she should be a little bit higher on this list, but her damage is a little bit less because she's a godly. So those are those. Next up, we got the shield breakers. Now, personally, I like Gilgamesh the best, but unfortunately, he's kind of near impossible to get. So if you want a budget one, Superman is low budget shield breaker, and he has like 5 placement. I think he's actually better than Gilgamesh for breaking shields, but his damage is just so low that it's not the greatest. Now, I will also say that Jotaro are pretty good for breaking shields as well as this guy, but Superman has 5x placement and 0.2 SPA, which is absolutely busted OP. Might even be 0.1, I forget, but really, really good units there. And the rest of them you can use. She does have a somewhat fast SPA, but like I said, Superman you can place a bazillion of. All right, so these guys are in F tier, which means they're okay. But there's just better options out there based on rarity, etc. So these aren't like the worst units. I know they're in the F tier, but like if you're getting in the higher dungeons, you're gonna struggle with these. All right, C tier, you're starting to get a little decent. I remember some of these guys used to be really good back in the day, but these guys are pretty decent damage wise. They're just better out there. All right, so B tier, now we're starting to get to units that I would consider good. Some great units, guys. Adult Gon Evo is really good, but I think you want the next Evo. Whitebeard is always goated, guys. His Tsunami is really good, even though it's been nerfed a bazillion times. She's okay, but personally, I really like the Whitebeards. They're really good. So A tier, now we're starting to get to those higher damage units. Shanks, I really like Shanks. Guyu's pretty cool with his ability. And the rest of them are decent. I don't really personally use these units, but they're okay. But Shanks and Giyu, I don't know how to pronounce it, really, really good. All right, S tier, now we're talking about some really OP units. The one I personally use is Adult Gon. This guy has some serious damage if you level him all the way up to max and have him like that shiny Evo. He's really, really good. Shadow's also pretty good as well, but Gon is my go-to. I haven't quite tested out Igris yet fully in dungeon, but apparently people like him. Same with Primera. All right, next up we have the best units in the game. Now these are all Evos, so I'll keep that in mind. They're kind of hard to get. So Broly, everybody loves Broly. Okay, this is the Dark Gon I was talking about, guys. He's probably one of my favorite units. Prime Whitebeard, I don't know, man. Honestly, normal Whitebeard was pretty much just as good too, and then the rest of them are pretty decent as well, but Gon is the one I personally use. My favorite personal stack to use is I like to go Gilgamesh and Gon. Just look at that DPS, guys. Absolutely freaking busted OP. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tier list, and comment down what video I should make next in Ultimate Tower Defense. Peace out.